Welcome to the next episode. This is Popcorn and Sidequest. I am Barry, your host, also known as the movie guy. And I know this episode is a little late, almost a week too late, but I've been working on a few things to make this podcast better and to also complement the podcast as well as my other work as the movie guy. So please bear with me. This is now the third episode for this part of the season, and I'm excited to share with you guys with what's next. And like I said in the previous episode, I want to keep this as natural as possible, so I don't want to make too much edits or too many cuts. So I'm just gonna talk, and hopefully you're gonna listen. And yeah, I'm not gonna cut out anything, even my mistakes. I'm gonna try and keep most of them in unless it doesn't make any sense. So first off, I have a big announcement. This coming Friday, I will be launching a companion magazine to the podcast called Popcorn and Sidequest. The magazine, it's going to be a monthly magazine. It will come out on the last Friday of every month, and it will include various articles, stuff on upcoming movies and TV shows, quizzes, interviews if I can get a few, and reviews of movies that I don't always do videos for or that I don't always do write ups for on my website. This includes older movies or classic movies. I've been watching a few old movies this week, so maybe some of them will feature in the magazine as reviews. And yeah, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Last year, I tried to do a annual magazine, but with all the TV dates changing and the movie release dates changing, it was kind of hard to just make one magazine for the whole month, or rather the whole year. So I decided to step back and reevaluate how I'm going to do this. And I decided that a week to week will be too much work for me, but a monthly magazine will actually be pretty fine. I can include my articles from the month that people probably didn't even read, and yeah, and publish them in this magazine. I'm still gonna decide whether I'm gonna review uh, all the TV shows as well, and I'm still figuring out whether I will do Afrikaans and English. But for now, I'm just gonna do English. So yeah, the first magazine drops on the 27th, I think, 27th of February. Hopefully you guys will go read it. I will share more details on this week and where you will be able to find the magazine. So this week is all about nostalgic TV shows or those childhood TV shows that you keep going back to, or that just brings back so many good memories. But before we get to that, let's follow the layout that I have set out for myself, which starts with the movie of the week or what I've been watching. So I've been watching quite a few movies. I only went to the cinema once, and that was to watch Cold Storage, a movie that I've already reviewed. You can go check out my review on any of my social pages or on YouTube as well. And well, this movie is a fun comedy horror movie. It doesn't really break new grounds, but it does combine some of my favorite comedy horrors in horror movies. Like, it kind of feels like the movie Evolution. I don't know if you guys watched that back in the 2000s, mixed with The Last of Us. So it has all of the horror elements of The Last of Us, but the humor from Evolution. It's a great mix up starring Joe Keery and Liam Neeson. Great, they are both great in this movie. But yeah, I'm going to keep it short, and hopefully you guys will go check it out if you are a fan of a really weird comedy horror. It does get really gory at times and nauseating because it does also include body horror. And well, some of the classic movies that I've watched this week include Inception and Back to the Future, the first one. Inception is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Christopher Nolan movie. I know I usually say Oppenheimer is his best movie, but this is my favorite Nolan movie, and it ages like fine wine. It is just such an amazing story, groundbreaking graphics, or rather, they did everything, the visual effects don't feel CG, even though I know some parts are CG, but they used a lot of practical effects and the acting is great. And I just simply love the story. um, I actually even argued with my nephew and my brother about the ending, with the spin top, and I still believe that it wasn't a dream. Let me know what you guys think about that. And I also watched Back to the Future, which I can say is a perfect movie. It's definitely a franchise that doesn't need to be revisited. It's perfect as it is, and rewatching it reminded me why I loved it since I was just a young little boy. And yeah, I think I might actually do a review on this movie. I will hopefully watch parts one and two this coming week or later this week so that I can do a follow up on what I'm just talking about now. And then I also rewatch the Scream movies to prepare myself for Scream 7 coming out this Friday. And yeah, it's just a bunch of nostalgic movies, movies that I really love from my childhood. And I actually didn't watch Scream 6 when it came out a few years ago, I think 2 years ago. And it was great to watch it for the first time. And I have to say, out of all the newer movies, excluding the first three, I think this one might be my favorite. This the sixth one. Maybe it's the New York setting, or maybe it's just the amount of stabbings in this movie. But yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot. So when it comes to my movie recommendations for this week, well, I can recommend all those movies which are available on streaming sites, or you can rent the video or the movie somewhere. But the movie I definitely want to recommend is Inception. I know a lot of people have watched it, but maybe it's time you watch it again, revisit it, and just enjoy what an awesome filmmaker Christopher Nolan is. And yeah, it's one of the best movies ever made. It's an easy recommendation from my side. And with the movies coming out this week, movies that I'm looking forward to, well, obviously it includes Scream 7. That's why I had to rewatch the Scream movies. I just want more Ghostface after watching those movies. So yeah, I'm really excited to watch it. And another movie also about, ending. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it, is How to Make a Killing, starring Glenn Powell. That's also coming out this Friday. The reviews are a little mixed right now, but I watched the trailer and to me it seems like it might be an exciting comedy thriller type of movie. I love Glenn Powell, so I'm excited to go watch it. My review will likely come out on Thursday or Friday. And then there are two music or concert documentaries coming out. First off is the Stray Kids one, the Dominate Experience. I can't say much about this. I don't know much about it. I've seen the online hype. It's huge, and I might end up watching this, but I can't say for certain yet. And then the other one is Epic, the Elvis Presley concert movie. And if you love Elvis and his music, then this will be a movie that you won't want to miss. I am absolutely probably I'm probably gonna go watch it. I love Elvis Presley and his music. It's the music my dad used to play when we were growing up, and it's also directed by Baz Luhrmann, who directed the Elvis biopic starring Austin Butler that came out a few years ago. So this is sort of a continuation, even though it's a documentary, and that alone makes it interesting. So I can't wait to watch it and see how this will transition from, well, a biopic to a documentary. And on the TV side of things, I finally stopped watching or ended watching Scrubs. And yeah, I also watched season 9, even though I think it's not canon. It's not even a spin off, it's set in a different universe, but I did watch it mainly because Dave Franco was actually pretty good in it. And the new season comes out this week, and I decided to finish all 8 seasons in about 4 weeks, maybe under 4 weeks, and it's just perfect. I can't wait to revisit Sacred Heart, even though it's just like a week after I stopped visiting Sacred Heart. And A Night of the Seven Kingdoms finale also came out. The first episode was fantastic. If you don't like Game of Thrones, then you can still enjoy this show. It's different than Game of Thrones. It's funny, it's heartwarming, and it's just packed with so many good storylines. And yeah, the finale was great, but I actually wanted more. 6 episodes just isn't enough. And but I'm looking forward. I know they are back in production for the second season, which will come out next year. So at least we don't have to wait 2 or 3 years between seasons. And also, Out of the Dragon is coming out later this year, so we will still go back to Westeros this year. And also, Paradise premiered yesterday. This is a Tuesday, right? Well, Paradise premiered yesterday, and well, the new season is a little different. The first season was more of a political thriller mixed with, well, a post-apocalyptic science fiction. This one feels more post-apocalyptic science fiction than political thriller because, well, while we're not inside the bunker anymore so much, there are still things happening in the bunker, but we are now in the outside world, seeing how people survived for the last few years in this universe. And Sterling K. Brown is amazing. He's joined by Shailene Woodley, who's also wonderful. So yeah, just when you watch the first episode, just go with it. It's just to establish new characters and to, well, broaden this franchise or this world out a little more. And well, my review is also up if you'd rather go check that out. It's a lot shorter than and a little more detailed. And I had no major side quests this week. I haven't even played a lot of video games, but my focus was mostly on doing this magazine stuff and some other videos, working with other people. So maybe next week I'll have something better for you guys. But for now, let's go to the popcorn poll, or rather the nostalgic part of this episode, the part that actually is the whole theme for this episode, and that's the nostalgic TV shows or favorite childhood TV shows. Now, for me, I picked 3 shows. There are a lot of shows that I can pick. I could have picked the Power Rangers, I could have picked stuff like Malcolm in the Middle, but I went with these 3 because those are the 3 that I felt were right in the moment to share with you guys. And the first one is Rugrats, which is funny and endearing. And after all these years, I can still go back and enjoy this. And then next up is Kenan and Kel, which I think, apart from the Power Rangers or all the sci-fi or superhero stuff, Kenan and Kel was probably my favorite TV show. I never missed an episode. I always make sure to go back to it. I'm still trying to figure out how I can watch this again. It's definitely one of the best shows. And then finally, another superhero show that people don't seem to know much about, and that is Beetleborgs. It's kind of like Power Rangers, but different. It's about kids gaining powers when they visit a haunted house and they get these suits of armor, which is really fun. It's more funny than Power Rangers. It doesn't take itself too serious at times. It was just awesome, and I hope we can get a sequel to that someday. And obviously, I wanted to mention Power Rangers and Digimon, but I'm gonna save that for a different video. And now let's talk about what you guys had, what your favorite TV shows or childhood favorites, nostalgic TV shows. Dragon Ball Z came out a couple of times. So I didn't watch Dragon Ball until I was a little older. So yeah, I can definitely understand why it features on this list. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is another one that came up a few times. And SpongeBob. Well, obviously, most of us grew up with SpongeBob. Kids are still growing up with SpongeBob. And then some others that I just want to throw in there is Totally Spies, Maggie Nation, and E-Man and the Masters of the Universe, which will get a movie this year. Courage the Cowardly Dog came up a few times. Another one that I would have wanted to feature in my videos. But yeah, I'm going to talk about this on a different date. And then Ben 10, the original one, another great one. I didn't watch the other Ben 10 shows, but I did watch the original one. And then someone said Spider-Man. Now, this might mean that they're either really old or really young because there are many Spider-Man animated shows. But I'm guessing this is the 90s or maybe what's the other one? Ultimate Spider-Man. Well, either way. And then the regular show, Phineas and Ferb, Scooby-Doo, Star Wars The Clone Wars, Dexter's Laboratory, Riders came out a few times, and Ed, and Eddie, another one that I absolutely love. And someone said Agatha all along, which might be weird because if it's a childhood favorite, then you're probably too young to have watched that, and you're probably still too young to have an Instagram account. Anyway, thank you for listening and watching. Um, this is all for today. Next week, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna focus on hot takes. So, what are your movie hot takes? Share them with me, and let's discuss them next week. And yeah, that's all for now. I've been the movie guy. I'll see you at the movies because movies are awesome.